Thank you for listening to and watching the Dreaming Insomniacs, the podcast. Today I have the writing, directing, producing team who created the new film Timings. So we're here to talk about that. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves, please do.
Hey, so happy to be here. Jeffrey Moore, director and producer on the film.
Yeah, my name is Ricky Whitcomb. I wrote Timings as well as produced along with Jeffrey.
Nicole Madar, producer only.
Love it.
Wonder extraordinaire on set.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Love that. Well, hello everybody. Glad to have you on. And this
Very
movie's
happy
amazing. So let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
yeah.
what sparked the decision to make Timings?
So it was February. Yeah, February of what was it? 2024. Yeah, February 2024. Ricky and I were just sitting down, and I was finally at the point in my career because I've been doing music videos most of my life, and I've always wanted to do a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I'm 35 now, almost about to turn 36. So I was just like, all right, no one's going to give me the money to make a movie. It's just not going to fall into my lap. So for me, it was time to kind of put up or shut up and make a movie and like do something that I've always wanted to do. And now was the time in my brain to do it. Because I felt like if I waited any longer, I could still do that, but it may not open as many opportunities down the line. But, it was just time to make a movie. And I was sitting having a drink with Ricky, and we just got talking about that. And I was telling him that I was just like, man, I've been talking about this forever. I just need a script. And he was like, hey, I have a script. So and then we got talking about that, and then he sent it over to me, and then the next day I read it, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So that was kind of it. It was just the realization of it's I don't want to be that. I never wanted to be that person that's just like, oh, this, I really wanted to do that, or I planned one day to do this. It was I always wanted to be that guy that's just, nope, I'm going to do it one way or the other. Let's make it happen.
I love that because visually it's really special, but also this is a very in-depth character drama. So I like the balance between the fact that you have this cool visual direction, like even shots of people just walking look very glamorous and glitzy, right? And the way you did that is really cool, like the lighting and the tracking and like some of the slow-mo that you do just in between people walking. It's very special. And then like the heavy dialogue scenes from Ricky's writing, it all goes so well together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really want to combine both of those worlds, and especially with me coming from a music video background where every shot and everything has got to be this almost over the top looking, piece combined with realistic dialogue and drama between people. We wanted to really marry those two ideas.
Yeah, and I think going into it the same, we knew what Jeff's background was, but we also knew, he is a visionary, and early on what he shared with how he saw this coming together, we knew that music was always going to be a big part of this project. And one of the biggest parts of it was finding that music that really fit those heavier moments, so that, he could kind of marry what was happening on the screen, what you're hearing on the screen, but with that emotion that comes with the audio.
And I'm guessing the songs are friends of yours bands, right?
So some are, and
some we found. I think one day I looked on Reddit, like, because we had a lot of like angsty girl, like indie artists, and one day I looked on Reddit and I said New York City or Astoria based pop punk bands, and I got a list, and I started looking on Instagram, and I reached out to a couple, and they were like, we had what, like 4 or 5 songs?
Yeah, 4 or 5 of them, and it was. Yeah, the music was so my buddy Adam Tilzer, he is a music producer here in New York, and a lot of the artists on the soundtrack are produced by him, as well. Some of the songs are from his latest album. But one thing early on that we wanted to do was highlight New York City based musicians. So any song you hear in the movie is from a New York City based artist. We didn't want
gives it that authentic New York vibe.
Yeah. We didn't want to go outside of New York or anything like that. We wanted just to stick with people in New York, local, musicians. And I had the end with Adam, so I spoke with him, and then got in touch with a lot of his different artists. And then Ricky found a couple, online as well. And we spent quite a few months picking and choosing which songs we were going to have in the film, and we went with that into production, and then it changed a bit with post-production, but for the most part it was it was all kind of decided beforehand. But yeah, having the music was a big part and a big storytelling part. We wanted to make sure that was a kind of a key part that helps elevate the story and
And
help
I
with the
think
emotions.
one of the coolest tie-ins that we did was because we had all this music picked out before we did the filming on set. We sent the music to our actors so that they could actually listen to the song that's going to be happening during their scene and really give them a sense of, like what the other noise is going to be around them, like what is going to like be playing while they are experiencing this, saying these lines. So I think that gave them like another level of like, oh, so this is really the intention of that scene. This is another thing that I have to capture. So that was really cool. We were able to pick it out so early because it helped to level up, I think, those scenes and those intentions.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I think you just solved the issue to like people who have issues with method actors right there. Because seriously, it gets the actor immersed without them like getting away with being an asshole to everybody, right?
One of the really cool things too is one of the artists, Elijah Mann, we had requested I think 3 songs from him, and he came back right away. He was like, 1 and 2, absolutely. The third, that's actually a cover of Carly Rae Jepsen's song, Can't Have It. And we were like,
fair,
sure,
fair.
He was like, but like, what scene were you thinking of for that song? And we told him a little about the scene, and then Jeff sent him the scene and the script that we were thinking of, and he actually wrote that song for that scene.
Yeah, I love that.
Figure 8. And when he first played it for us, it was kind of one of those moments where it was like, this is like Figure 8 from the motion picture Timings by Elijah Mann. It was just like
it's very cool to have an original song written for the movie. So yeah, Elijah Mann did it, and Adam Tilzer produced it, and they did phenomenal job. And we couldn't have been more stoked about that.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So to segue into the other aspect of this film, the film has a large cast. Talk about what it was like working with a larger cast and what went into the casting process.
Yeah, so the casting process was fun and daunting. We had, I believe, over 1,000.
1,300.
1,300 submissions to kind of go through. We did 2 weekends of casting in person, where we were able to get through. We invited about, I think, 150 to 200 people.
We saw the first week, we saw 188.
Okay, yeah.
And then we called 55 back for callbacks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we and that's another great thing with New York is just the acting community here. It was pretty cool to kind of see the reaction to people interested in being a part of the film. But for us during the casting process, it was about the acting and what you can do, but it was also, we wanted to make sure the chemistry between the different people were going to be right. So, the callback day, we had a lot of people reading with different people to make sure that the chemistry and everything worked well together. So we really wanted to, go into the casting with that in mind as well. Does their chemistry read right? Is, between, because it's just, 7 friends. So they need to have
like being in a band. Like the chemistry has to be there. You had to build it up in the rehearsal ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. And we did 2. And then we finally picked out our cast, and everyone we wanted was available and ready to go, which was amazing.
Yeah, and one cool thing that I think we did that I love is we had Nicole act as the moderator. So she was outside the room. She was the one greeting the people, checking them in, letting us know, sending them in. But she never introduced herself as anything other than, hey, I'm here helping out with this. And then, they'd come in and meet, the writer or director.
The test.
And thankfully, it was only a couple instances of this where, like, we would be like, oh, we really like that person. And Nicole would be like, no. And
no.
The person that greeted Nicole was not the same person that came in to greet us.
Yes.
So that was really insightful for definitely a couple people that, might have gotten a call back, but because of the way they treated her or others in the waiting area, we don't need that on set.
Yeah. That's the first test.
Yeah, we went in it from the beginning, knowing that this was going to be an ensemble cast. And therefore, even the way that everybody treated each other in the hallway, it had to be friendly. It had to be a family. You know, this is not a competitive environment. Everybody, we have 7 main cast members. You're all main cast. And it was actually really fantastic that there were quite a few good eggs that came into audition who were not specifically right for like one of the main cast parts, but they're who we cast as Benji the line cook, and that's how we called in.
He was funny.
He's amazing.
And he was incredible in the room, but I think he had come in for Luke, and then we had him in for Ben. He didn't fit any of those other ones, and then we were like, "Do you want to be the line cook?" He was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah,
the sweetest guy.
And then he knocked it out of the park. Like, and for me, one of the, a very memorable character.
Very authentic New York accent too, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
The really cool thing that happened is, we had slotted, so we actually saw more than 188. We had 188 slots, but that first day, we didn't realize that the place we were holding auditions had actually advertised our auditions in their lobby.
Oh.
So Nicole started getting walk-ins.
Yeah.
Just being like, they would like be leaving their acting class, and they would see this post, and they'd come up to the floor. And I will say, we kind of we saw who we could, and it was a happy accident. One of the actors that had been like, "Hey, I actually submitted for this film," and it's like it got lost in the inbox. We never saw this, so we never had any record of him. So he walked in and auditioned, and that was Matteo Perotti, who was cast as Benny.
Yeah,
wow.
Which was very, very cool. Happy kind of little moment there with that. That was nice. So yeah, the cast
was funny too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great character. Lovely guy.
Oh yeah.
What question? What was he given? Because that whatever that was made him trip. That wasn't like some fun powder. That was something else.
We're calling it acid.
Yeah. It was,
I think that's what I thought. That like you don't just see zombies. I feel like it's DMT, man.
He just he did a couple too many pills and
then
acid on accident
and on top of it.
So just a little bad combination for his brain.
He was trying to talk himself out of it. I can't bring my joints. That was great.
Yeah,
great. Very funny. Guys, everybody delivered, man. Everybody was so good.
Yeah.
We were so happy with the the cast and the performances they gave, and they were also so wonderful and so easy to work with, and took direction well, but also took their own liberties, which I love as a director, because it's you as the character, so I want to see what you can bring to the table, and then we can make modifications from there. But I always find it very interesting, and I know Ricky does well with people bringing a character to life. Is okay, what are you going to bring, and then we can go from there, because it's so interesting to see other people's perspectives on a character, outside of our own. So that was cool.
And I was very, very upfront with them from the very beginning, from the very first table read, that as a writer, obviously I care about my words, but at the end of the day, if you say a line and it's not exactly how it's written in the script, but the intentions and everything still come across, I'm not going to say anything, or we're going to leave it in, and we're going to keep shooting. So they did have a little bit of that freedom with their characters as well, that at one point one of the actresses came up and she was like, "This just isn't flowing from my tongue right." And on set, we did a little rewrite, and she nailed that next take.
Yeah, great.
So it was a very, I hope, a very set for them to feel adaptable, and for them to really feel themselves and feel the characters. And I think
so. It's not a T1 situation where Arnold's like, "Can I say I will be back?" No, it's "I'll be back." Say the fucking line.
So yeah, no, it was great. And I mean, working with a larger ensemble cast, I mean, it was definitely daunting, definitely as a first time, filmmaker, in the feature world, having 7 main cast members to try to work with, it was definitely daunting going in, but again, they made it a joy and a pleasure throughout the whole experience. So it was, nerve wracking at first, but then once we got rolling, it was, we were all on the same page, and it was great from there.
And I'll give them credit. They all showed up, knowing their lines.
Oh yeah,
That's good too.
Off book.
Yeah,
it was, and that was huge, because we had we shot the film in 8 days. 10-hour days. So we didn't even shoot long days. It was 10-hour days, 8 days. Which
No
is,
time for cue cards.
No.
yeah, so we didn't have time to like try to have them figuring out lines on set, but everyone was off book.
Or Marlon Brando in the ear, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it made our lives easier, and it made shooting, you know, smooth and efficient.
Mhm.
I love that. That's great. And you already answered my next question anyway, so I'll have to lead into the next one. What was the filming process like? And with it being such a low budget film, how did you manage to get everything shot and looking so good? As I was saying before, this movie is your first movie, and I'm pretty sure it's less of a budget than was put into Clerks, and it was made however many years later, and it looks better. And, you know, it's not in black and white. So, you know.
All this guy right here, by the way.
Honestly,
That's all.
We spent you know, we spent a year of pre-production, so we wanted to make sure we had everything planned
Mhm.
and figured out. But you know, luckily, you know, with my experience with music videos, I've done a lot of just things on my own, so I was able to direct and shoot the project, so we're able to save some money by me kind of wearing multiple hats in that perspective. But I mean, between the three of us, and then, you know, our good friend VJ, who's not here, she was our unit production manager. She, you know, she helped out a ton to make sure, you know, we were set, we were ready. You know, we spent countless weekends making sure the schedule was correct and making sure we had the right time allotted for each scene, and had a game plan for each day of what we're going to do and how we're going to accomplish it. And you know, and luckily we also had a large enough space where I was able to set up multiple lighting areas at once. So I had one scene already lit, and then I already had a second scene lit and ready to go for when we moved over there. And then I had my crew typically then just move the lights, and I tell them exactly what to do for the next scene while we're kind of getting that stuff together. So it was, you know, it was just having the right game plan going in.
We also had Jeff had a lot of his own equipment, so
yeah, that helps too.
Our rental cost was pretty low.
Very low. I had all the, you know, all my lights and all that, camera, all that good stuff. So we, you know, we made use of existing things that we had, and we really spent, you know, the majority of the budget on locations, food, and crew and talent.
We fed our crew.
Yeah,
We fed our crew well.
yeah.
Where was the location of the whole party scene? Where was that shot?
That was in Brooklyn. That was at a place called Roland Studios, in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. So yeah, that was we spent 4 days there.
Yep.
Hold on a second. So not only that, but you also made this first film of yours, low budget film, and you shot it actually in New York.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The only thing that wasn't in New York City was the outside shots. We shot that up in Mount Vernon, which is only 20 minutes outside the city.
It's a 5-minute walk.
Aren't the shooting permits for NYC like really unfairly expensive though?
We wouldn't know.
Yeah, so luckily all the places we shot at were privately owned, so we didn't have to pull any permits or anything like that. You know, we had to, you know, have all the insurance and all that stuff. You know, which, you know, does cost, but we didn't have to pull any permits because we weren't outside. And the place that we were outside, it was a privately owned place, so we had the permission of that place. And
so that's the loophole. That's the loophole. People who own places.
Exactly. It was either like we sent, you know, the place that we did most of the outside shots, we just sent them like a standard COI, like use our coverage of insurance in case we break anything, which we didn't.
Yeah.
And then the other location was outside of our apartment. So if anybody came to us, we'd be like, we live here.
So
I've done some guerrilla filmmaking for some of these YouTube videos. I probably should have got permission to shoot people's houses, but you know. What can you do?
Ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah, right. Hey, if it got thousands of views, I mean, hey, you know what?
I also want to point out that, like, on set, obviously we mentioned, you know, we were on a time crunch. We had no time for error.
No.
Radar, the queen of project management, kept us on track every day. She was the one that anytime we needed to switch a scene, we needed to switch the order of what we were filming. She was on top of that to the minute, letting Jeff know, hey, we're 5 ahead, we're 7 ahead, we're now 5 behind. She kept us going throughout the day, every day, on top of countless other tasks that she took on herself.
Nicole and VJ.
Well, that's how you did it. You guys are a great team, cohesive.
And it was just, it was big of, you know, just everyone kind of coming together.
Team effort.
Yeah, big team effort on just making sure we were where we needed to be. We were on the right, you know, schedule for that day, and then we would convene after, you know, every evening just to then talk about the next day, make sure we were set and ready to go for the following day. So lots of planning.
Yeah.
That's how that worked, and yeah, and owning a lot of your own gear helps out a ton.
Oh
too.
yeah, it saves a lot of money. Trust me,
Yeah.
I get it. I make the music mixes I do at home because I have
Yeah.
the gear to do it compared to spending thousands at a studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
You
you just
can
gotta
do
know
it.
what you're doing, right? Do
Yeah.
the right schooling, have the right experience, and then you have it.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So,
I got another question, but it's for Ricky for the script. Ricky,
Yeah.
tell us about the script and what was your inspiration to write the script? I feel like there's a lot of personal stuff in there too, right? Is
There is a lot of stuff. Yeah, the script. The
It
script
feels too real to not be.
Yeah. The script started over a decade ago. I went to school in Long Island for college, and one night a friend of mine had passes to a party that was in Manhattan. We happened to be going into Manhattan anyway that weekend for a conference, so a group of like 10 of us went with her to this party, and it was in a warehouse in Midtown somewhere. And again, this was 2005, so it was a minute ago, but. It was one of those where like you walk in the door and you immediately lose your friends, and you're just, you know, walking around, and, you know, you get a drink and you're exploring the space. It was 3 or 4 floors, you know, just insane. And by the end of the night, when we were finally finding each other, one of our friends had a black eye that was bleeding. One had a random guy with her that she thought she was going to be taken back to her at the hotel room we were all sharing. So that was always a night that stuck in my head. And so when I started getting back into writing, I wrote a short play back in 2016, and I really had an idea to want to do something on screen because I'd always been more screen oriented, you know, TV and film. That's what I went to school for. And so this night always kind of felt like something I wanted to talk about, because by then it'd been, you know, years and more New York City experiences that I've been a part of. And I always had the idea of making it a web series. Each person was going to have their own chapter. And so it evolved over time. And when me and Jeff, when he mentioned wanting to make a feature, I was like, you know, we could just put them together, you know,
Yeah.
and see how that looks and see what you would think about that. And then, so when he initially read it and said yes, I spent the first probably 2.5 months finding a way to make these 7 separate scripts of one cohesive movie, while sending dates and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and also updating it, you know, because a lot of the references were no longer relatable, you know.
Right.
Also, I wrote it when I was their age, and now I'm 10 years older, so how do they talk? You know, there's a lot of looking at TikTok and trying to figure out how 26-year-olds talk now.
It was accurate. I'm 29. It was accurate.
Like, they don't speak how I spoke.
They don't even speak how like I spoke when I was like a teenager now.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different now. 10 years later, every 10 years shit changes, I guess, man.
I will say though, even through all the revisions, I could not bring myself to put the word "riz" in there.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, because it just sounds like jizz.
but
It would be funnier if you said that, actually. If you reference the fact that Riz sounds like jizz, it'd be funny. Have a character say that, you know?
yeah, I got to a 23rd revision, and I sent it to Jeff and Nicole, and both of them said, we think this is done.
Yep.
And that's when we started, you know, really diving into the scheduling of pre-production, all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of moments, like every character has got a little bit of me in them and also a little bit of someone else. You know, like Gracie, I knew a girl in college who was from Minnesota and, you know, was very much homesick, and a lot of Gracie is derived off of her. Libby is a lot of a good friend of mine who is kind of the mom of the group back when I was
Takes no shit.
Takes no shit, but also make sure you get home okay.
Right.
So there's a lot of real life inspiration, a lot of personal stuff in there as well, but also just trying to make it stay realistic.
What was the main mean one's name again?
Tom.
No, the female. The main.
Carla.
Carla, yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Carla. Carla was great. What's the actress's name? She's very good.
Jackie.
Everybody was great.
Yeah.
But there's a point where she scared me.
Yeah.
That's a good thing if an actress
At
can
one
do
point,
that.
even behind the scenes, she's scared of all of
I'm
us.
sure she's too good.
And she stayed Carla throughout. Like
Yeah.
even when we weren't filming in the green room, like she was still Carla. Like
Yeah.
she was channeling it.
But she was method in a good way, I can
Yeah.
say.
In a very good way.
Very good way. Yeah.
Very good way.
She was wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Jeff, what are some creative decisions that made you mad? Wait, that made you the director and cinematographer. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I think I misread that.
That's fine. Nothing made me mad.
Yeah, nothing. I was gonna say. Well, we all have our creative process.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, some of the creative stuff, like with this film, it went back to my roots with music videos and kind of that more of a polished, vibrant look, which really the story lent to with it being a party. It needs to have kind of that neon, fast paced, flashing lights and things like that, and so I really leaned into that kind of look, and we wanted to do everything handheld as well, because we just wanted it to be the perspective of the characters. So it being handheld and just kind of free flowing with the characters, was the plan all along. The only dolly shot we used was the last shot of the movie, because at that point we're leaving the story from there, so we can go away from being handheld anymore. And everything was also shot on a 50 millimeter lens, which is, from a lot of the research I did, it's the closest thing to what you see as a person with your own eyes. The focal length is kind of pretty close to what anybody would see, which lent to still the idea of we're just there observing and being with the characters,
and it
so
feels real.
I wanted to feel as real as possible and it be with these characters and not have anything camera wise make it distracting in any sort of way. So I was like, all right, let's shoot it on a 50. So we shot 90% of the film on a 50 millimeter lens, except for the Benny's tripping scenes.
I was gonna say we got to bring up the zombie scene, man.
Yeah.
Who did the effects for the makeup and all that? That was so cool. We need a horror movie
We had a
next.
great makeup team, Sydney and Caroline. They knocked that out.
It's funny, they didn't have any zombies like in their resume, but they had similar, and so we hired them. And the day that we were testing it, I was kind of the liaison for makeup and the set. And so Jeff was setting up a shot, and Sydney had just finished the first zombie, and I took a picture of the actress that was one of the extras that was playing a zombie, and I brought it to Jeff, and I was like, I think this looks pretty good. Like, what do you think? And he was like, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Like that looks awesome. Is that from like what is that their inspiration? And I was like, no, that's what she did.
There's somebody back there right now that looks like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! All right, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, like, this is happening.
Yeah,
that's great.
She knocked it out.
They did a great job with that, and that was that was definitely a fun, chaotic scene. But Mateo, who played Benny, really did well with it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's
he never
actually
did find his princess, did he? He really didn't.
Yeah, poor boy, he just finds a drunken man, but that's about it.
I think my favorite choice that you made during the shoot was the location. So like we were shot at Roland Studio, and they have this one big area that is like brick walls, brown floor, like that is the scene. That's where like basically every party shot is done. When we did Benny's scene, there is almost an identical space, one floor above, that has white painted walls in it. So we only use that location for Benny's scene to give it this more trippy atmosphere of like, you're in the same place, but something's different. Something's off.
It did have that vibe.
Yeah. So things that came naturally to us, as well as like Jeff's awesome editing with like all of the effects and
a lot of of editing effects too with that. But
and another credit just to Jeff is when we first started talking about this, obviously as creatives, before you talk about administration or logistics, you're going to talk creative. You're going to talk about the vision, like what you're seeing. And from a very, very early moment, Jeff had a clear vision for how he wanted this to look, with the lights, with the sound, with the cameras. We did lens tests. And in the year of us talking, he never once wavered. He stayed with his vision the entire time through completion.
Consistent.
Very consistent and very just on brand for Jeff, but also as a team, knowing that you have someone who is so confident in their ability to deliver what they say they're going to deliver and then does. So as someone
And that's
involved,
how you avoid development hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have a clear vision and go. Like listen to your gut and
Do it.
And then learn from there.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nicole, what made you want to jump onto this project and help produce it?
There was never a question in my mind because, I mean, Joe, anytime Jeff does anything, I'm always there beside him, helping out. When you do your music videos, I'm always a second hand, normally just setting up lights and taking them down in half the time that Jeff would, but still trying to help. But for this one, I was really excited because I come from a theater background. So I'm like, I know how to stage manage. I know how to build sets. I know how to do props. How can I kind of lend what I know to this film to be an even bigger part of it? And I think producing really helped with that because I do come from a background where I really like to organize things in a way that is
very helpful.
Disgusting.
Very.
So I think
it's good to be OCD. It's okay.
Yeah. You need one person.
You need somebody on your team with that.
Not everybody should be, because then nothing would get done.
It's like half and half. Like if I don't stay on top of it, shit gets out of hand. But I gotta stay on top of it.
Exactly. So I don't think there was ever a question in my mind that I was going to help out to the fullest extent. And normally what I do is I help out and then I get a title later. This time I got a title beforehand. So I'm like, all right, sounds great.
Title before we start.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
And I love that you guys work together and everything. That's really sweet.
Yeah. Gotta be a team.
Gotta.
Well, being married, you kind of do already. So it's like, might as well work on art together too, right?
Exactly.
And I mean, we met working together. So it just makes sense. It's like
That's
when he works, I work. When I work, he works. It's, mutual.
Yeah.
So. Well, that's how you started it. You planted the seeds in a great place. It's right there. But now I feel like I'm leaving Ricky out and I feel like a dick.
No.
No, it's funny. We obviously been friends for a while. We met at the same workplace that they met.
Yeah.
And when this first started, it's obviously we're getting in working together. There's money exchange, there's all these things that, would maybe sully other friendships or partnerships or relationships. And I think I made the joke once we were talking again at the bar one night about an idea that we had for the one scene or whatever it was. And I said, I was like, guys, I wonder when we're going to have our first fight. And, we haven't.
yet.
So, it's a really great partnership and collaboration. We have the same work ethic, we have the same vision, and we know how to talk to each other too, which is what the most important part, because anytime we've had disagreements, we've talked it out. And
communication, yes.
Yeah.
It's like a marriage. It's never going to be perfect. You got to communicate, work through it.
Yeah, and so because we've been friends for so long, we do know how to approach each other in those situations. And again, they know this. I can't wait to work with them on another one. And keep going.
I love it.
It's a nice.
I can't wait to see more.
We all went to this with the same goal from the start, which was, let's make a movie. That is, that's just the goal. Let's just make it. It doesn't we didn't think about anything that came after. We're like, let's live in the moment. Let's make this movie, and let's also make it the best possible way that we can in the most positive environment. Like, we all went in with the same goal of creating a collaborative, kind space. And I think that all being on the same page, just from that high level from the get-go, made any small little minutia thing that came up so much easier to work through because you all have the same goal.
I love that. And that's the way to make a film. That's the way, not the other things we hear about.
Yes.
It's amazing. I love that. And it leads into my next question. So as this being your first feature film, what are your biggest takeaways and learning points through this process? And with that, are there any advice pieces that you like to give to anybody looking to make their first film?
I'd say, I mean, the whole thing has been a learning experience. I mean, everything from, getting insurance and, making sure people are, paid on time and correctly, and, kind of trying to do everything by the books. I mean, that's a big, the whole thing has been like every aspect has been a big learning moment. Of course, we've not done this before. So, as we've been going, it's just been, okay, all right, we did that. All right, I guess we could have done. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like any set examples of.
Um, the only thing I can add from a producing standpoint is treat your people right. We had a huge cast. On any given day, aside from the 7 principals, there were supporting characters, there were extras, we had crew. Like we said, we fed them right. Like we didn't have pizza delivered. Like we had.
You're in it too as an extra. I saw the credits.
I am. Yeah. We had hearty meals. We made sure we had proteins, veggies, starches for lunches and dinners. We had a stocked pantry that Jeff and Nicole completely went above and beyond with. But also we were filming in 17-degree weather. So there's scenes where Gracie, Logan, who plays Gracie, is outside, and she's freezing. We're doing one take, and then she's got to be back inside because she's a stick. And Jackie's actually sitting on her feet to warm them up before she goes back out. But then as soon as we're ready for her, she's ready to go because we believed in them so much and we treated them well that they wanted to give that back. And if you treat your cast and your crew wrong, you're gonna get a shitty product. So that for me, that's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I mean that really is people. That's the biggest thing, and that's something we'll always move forward with as we continue making projects is treating everyone right. And making sure they're taken care of, and not and making a safe set and making a set that's comfortable for people to be in, listening to people when they have a concern, and doing what we can to make sure you feel taken care of and heard from us as the producers. I think that's the biggest advice for anyone who wants to make a film is, one, just do it, because no one's going to do it for you. But if you are going to do it right and treat people use your money to be able to take care of people. You can figure out gear and cameras and all, especially nowadays. A lot of this stuff is so cheap. You can make things without a ton of gear, but you need the people, and you need to even with us being low budget, we didn't pay people a ton of money, but we did what we could. And we had what we could with the money we did, and we used it on our people. And
you created your own craft services. I love that.
We did that. Nicole handled
different local spot every night.
Different local spot each night. But making sure people are fed is a big thing.
It's like I'm a eater. I love food.
Me too.
And
neither one of us look like it.
No. One of the things that I would hear from the cast and crew is what they were fed on other projects, and it was sad. Like literally, one of the actresses was saying that she had just done a shoot a couple weeks prior that was like a 12-hour shoot, and there were children there. It was a pretty decently sized set, and the only thing they had were a couple of charcuterie trays from Wegmans. Like that was their food for the day. Which I can't even comprehend that.
Even sandwiches, the half sandwiches would have been fine.
So Nicole, she really curated a great menu over the course of the 8 days. Again, 2 meals a day. And one of the comments we kept getting was, just how taken aback they were by the quality of the food and the catering on set.
So I love that. That's the secret. You got to keep the crew happy.
Happy, and food is that's the best way to keep people happy. Make sure they're making that right.
And that's the other thing too. Is we did pay the actors. Again, it's an indie film. It's a low budget indie film. We paid what we could.
You still paid them.
We still did. But extras weren't paid. If we treated someone wrong, and they're under contract, I guess. But if we treat someone wrong, what's to stop them from just not coming back?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Then you have plot holes.
Yeah, exactly.
And a bad rep. We don't need that.
Oh crap, we're screwed.
Right? We were gracious to have just a completely dedicated cast and crew. That gave us everything more than we could have asked.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I can attest. Oh, sorry, you first, Nicole.
You're good.
We did at the same time.
My only other bit of advice is that if you do not have to, don't shoot in the winter because
Yeah.
heat makes
It's cold.
noise.
Yeah, heat makes
Very
noise and people get cold.
That.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, but hey, you
All I
were
was gonna say is I can attest to the whole aspect of you guys running a great set because I was in it's a Beach Party, It's a Gas by the Cherry
Yeah.
Drops, the music video that
Yeah.
you guys made, directed by Jeffrey Moore as well. Great time. And it was a great experience. I mean, there was food available for everyone. It was fun. Everybody
Yeah.
was happy. That's
Yeah.
in the film. It's there. You can see it. So I just wanted
Good.
to add that too. My own personal experience shows
Yeah.
that
Hell
as
yeah.
well.
That was so fun. That was such a challenge, but such a fun thing to do of filming on that boat that day.
Oh my God. I don't know how you guys did that. Jeff has some serious steady hands. I don't know how you did that. I wouldn't have been able to do that, man. That was freaking great.
I held the camera for 5 seconds and almost fell over.
Oh,
So.
Yeah.
I think one of those dudes is like an Elvis impersonator that marries people in like Vegas. That was
Yeah.
you never know who you're gonna meet, you know?
No, that's for
Fun
sure.
time.
Yeah.
Wow, we kind of blew through these. Jeez, I got 2 more. I was hoping to get an hour out of these questions. Damn. All right, the world premiere is coming up in Hollywood.
Yes.
Please chat more about that and why you chose this festival and location as the premiere.
So we are so excited to be able to make the world premiere in LA because for us it's a New York film, so initially we wanted a New York premiere and that just wasn't in the cards. So we were like, okay, what's the next best thing? All right, Hollywood. And then so we got into this festival. It's called the Golden State Film Festival. We got word beginning of the year that we're an official selection there, and it's taking place at the historic Chinese Theater in Hollywood. So we were like, that seems to be the best spot to hold our world premiere and make it the first public viewing of the movie. So we are beyond excited to be able to, go out to LA and showcase this movie and show our movie at such a historic venue as the Chinese Theater. I mean, to know our film is being played on the same screens as some of the best movies ever is, a very surreal moment, for all of us.
It means you made it.
Yeah. So we are very excited, and we're really looking forward to getting out there. We should hopefully know an official exact date because the festival itself runs I think it's February 27th through March 5th. So we'll be screened one of those days, which will be TBD. And once we do know, we're gonna let everyone know the date and tickets if anyone in the New York area wants to make it out. But also we know we have plenty of people in the LA California region that hopefully can make it out, and we can have a good turnout for the film. But yeah, if it wasn't New York, I think the Chinese Theater is pretty darn good as a second.
More than that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty unreal.
Yeah.
I think the solid week after we still were just like, I should pinch myself. Like, did we really get that
You
email?
guys deserve it though. I mean, look at all the awards it's winning. I mean,
Yeah.
Not every movie gets to premiere at the Chinese Theater.
Yeah.
That says how good it is.
Yeah. So we are excited, and we're excited to share that with everyone. And yeah, I mean the whole we're still very early on in our festival run, and we're still blown away the fact that we would win any awards. The whole idea was all right, well, let's make a movie, and then at the end of the day we can say we made a movie. Yeah. And at this point we're in a handful of festivals, and we won awards at a handful as well, and never would have thought an award would have ever been on the table. But here we are, and that's a very, very cool thing that we're all very, very excited and proud of, and we're really looking forward to the next 7 or 8 months where we're hoping to hit a handful more festivals and kind of get it to more people, and then at that point see what life it can have after a festival run. Again, this is all very uncharted territories for any of us, so we're we're figuring this one out as we go and trying to do the right research and
I
right
could see a
thing.
wide release with this. I really could. I mean, you
Yeah.
need a rating from the MPAA, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's definitely get an R rating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's rated R.
Definitely not.
It's not X though. You're
It's not
fine
X.
on that.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
NC-17. You're
Solid R.
fine.
Solid
Solid
R.
R.
Take that.
It was always going to be.
Yeah.
With the
So
script,
no,
yeah.
we're excited to kind of see what comes next, what opportunities and what things we can do to get this out to a broader audience after we hit these festivals.
Love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are your new exciting projects on the horizon?
Yeah, so we have 2 scripts in development right now that Ricky is working on. Yeah,
I can talk a little.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so one is a feature.
Mhm.
I don't want to give too much away, but it's called Jump. And it is another kind of multi-character driven drama that follows 5 different people. They're strangers. It's not a friend group, but what they have in common is that they were all on the same subway platform and witnessed someone jumping in front of a train to end their life, and how that affects each of them differently over the course of 2 months. So that is one that we're going to be talking soon. I think the script is almost done. We're going to get some feedback from them, and then we're going to, probably start talking pre-production there. And then the other one right now is a short that we are hoping to produce as a short to then garner funding for a feature, kind of like Lights Out did. And that one is it's a horror film.
Yes.
So
we're gonna interest in horror.
It's definitely more psychological horror. There's no zombies, but it is I like where it's heading right now. So
zombies are overdone anyway. The way you guys did it was smart, but
Yeah.
it was just a straight zombie movie. And for a second, I thought we were going there. For a second, I really did. I was like, "Oh, this whole thing just changed. We're going apocalypse." No, he has to be tripping. There's no way.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I love that. That's amazing.
Those are the 2, and we definitely, with it's like, again, we love the cast and crew from timing. So as we get into closer to knowing when we could actually produce these projects, we would love to go back to some of the cast members and say, hey, do you want to maybe do a round 2? And there's this character, and I do love having everything set in the same universe. So I can say that Carla does pop up and jump.
Yes, she does.
So,
I've got some acting experience if you ever want to throw a friend in there. Wait.
There we go. Get over here.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be in a movie.
Hey. So yeah, we're excited. Yeah, we're excited for these next 2 projects. But we're in development with those and gonna start getting that stuff ready. Because we love doing this one. So what turned into us just, all right, let's just make a movie. So at the end of the day, we can say we did the thing we wanted to do with our lives. But now it's okay. Well, what next? Let's do. We need to do another one.
We got the itch.
We got to make another one.
You got the fire. You have it. Why not
again
while you have it? You know what I mean?
You get your first tattoo. It's like, now you need another one.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and you got a great team here. You've got the collaborative fire. It's infective to me. I love it.
Thanks. So that's kind of what we got kind of coming up, and so it's just good. We're gonna do some pre-production and get all that stuff kind of the ball rolling, and then work on funding. We don't want to self-fund another movie, but so. But no, it's we're excited for the future, and we're excited to see what timings can bring to us as far as opportunities and just for future development with future scripts and things that we can do based off showcasing, hey, we did this, and all right, we want to do this other movie, Jump, or this horror film, like we have these 2 things in our pockets and ready to go. So I
love it. And that's a great first film. I mean, shit, you guys even...
We really appreciate it.
I love
Yeah.
that Ricky put the references to other films in there, but giving love and respect to them, talking highly of them. That was great.
Yeah.
I loved hearing the reference to Alien and Halloween. That was cool.
And so, and that actually is that is a true statement from my childhood. I was like, my dad showed me Aliens at 7 years old because it was a classic, and Halloween at 8. Like, so
I had a feeling. That's see.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God! That the evil character though. Holy crap! What kind of odds are that? Like, is that based on something real too?
He's based on like someone that probably would pull that off at some point.
Of course, yeah.
But, I do love the actor Luke Kenton. When he came in, obviously we didn't cast this person, or I didn't write this person as a British person, and Luke came in, and in like talking with Luke ahead of time, because Luke is also again one of the sweetest people in the world.
Wait, he's American. He's not actually British.
No, he
is British.
Oh, okay.
Plan on that.
So his American's really good then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and that's when we in our talks, like we would sit down with the actors ahead of time, and especially with him, we wanted to pick his brain because he's so nice. Like, how are you going to play this evil character? And we kind of came up with this idea, like, what if you had your normal regular voice with Mitch, but then you be a fake American with her. And he loved that. He was like, "Oh my God, yes!" Like,
so yeah, he pulled out the Southern boy with charm accents for some of it. So he was Luke Kenton's he was great.
Awesome.
Great.
And he originally read for the character of Luke.
Yeah.
So Luke and Libby, he read for that, but he was fantastic, but he wasn't like just right for it.
Yeah.
But we still really wanted him because he was so nice in the lobby. He was such a kind person.
Very,
he
very,
showed up
very
early
talented.
every day for auditions. So we saw the Tom character and we gave him a call and we're like, would you want this? And he's like, heck yeah.
And it was also like Josh, who ended up playing Kicker, had come in for Luke.
Yeah.
And we offered him Kicker because again, he was so wonderful in the room. And it's just a testament that like you can be you can be a great actor, you can be a great actor, great person as a person, but it's just a testament to how great Quinn was as Luke.
Yeah.
Like nobody could touch that role because it was
he was really, really good. Well, he's
So-
the first person you see, right? So
he dropped right into his world, and I mean, we saw Quinn when he came in and he read, and I mean, I remember in his audition, I mean, he did one read, and then the next time he came in, he was off book with the scene, and I was like, oh wow, look at you. Okay. He was wonderful. I mean, our whole cast was.
I do feel like there's room for a sequel there and follow-ups with the characters in the future. You know what I mean? Like
originally, when it was in my head conceived as a web series, there would be a season 2 at some point.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There could be another one. There could be more with those characters in the future. Flash forward 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Never
love
know.
it. And it also though the final scene where they're saying goodbye, I related to that shit. I've been through that before, man. I cried. It made me cry.
Yeah, that was
not hard, but still.
Yeah.
No. And that's another testament to Jeff from very early on. He said, "I want that to be one take."
Yeah, we just wanted one shot with that.
And those actors, I mean, that scene is 4 pages long, and they stretched it to 10 minutes. And that's a 10-minute long one take that Jeff, even people on set were like, "Are you sure you don't want to get some?" And Jeff was like, "No, I told you this is what I wanted from day one, and this is what we're going to get." And it reads in the finished product how gut-wrenching it is because of the choice that Jeff made for that.
Yeah, and that was something we decided very early on. That was actually, I think, one of our first creative decisions was that scene. I was, I came to Ricky and I was like, with that scene, I don't want to ever cut away. I want the viewer to feel like they're stuck just watching these two people fight, break up, have their moment, but you as a viewer can't leave. There's no getting out. There's no cutting to somebody else's reaction. You have to just live there, watch it, and be uncomfortable, just kind of feel that moment a bit more. So yeah, it was always from the very beginning. We were like, okay, we're gonna do that and one shot, and we did 3 takes of it and finally got it, and it was an exhausting take with camera and Leslie Tran. He was our sound mixer, so testament to him, running the boom for 10 minutes for 3 different
my.
takes. So I
The
applaud
whole
him for
time.
that.
Good for him.
But you know, Quinn and Kate, who you know, Quinn played Luke and Kate played Livy. They took that scene and took it to the next level. They
Yeah,
you
they
know
made it feel believable and convincing. And as any actor, that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
That's the secret,
Yeah.
right?
they cared so much about that scene, and they were completely on board with the one shot. They were like, no, yeah, you're right, let's not do that. And they nailed that scene, and I'm
It's
just
the
so proud.
eyes too.
They-
It's all the emotion in the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they did so good.
Theater background as well, which really helps to lend to that, because when you're in theater and you're on stage, you might not be saying anything, but people are still looking at you. So they're used to that type of way of performing, and it really read well during that scene.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, especially the last shot of her, when the way she looks at him. Oh my God, it's stuck in my head. See, that burned in my brain. Thanks, Jeff. But no, that's again a compliment to the film.
Yeah.
You guys as a team. We got a comment from somebody who clearly likes Steve Miller, Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
Love this crew who looks like they worked hard and got it done. Damn right. Damn right they did.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that the song that was written for the film is actually the one that plays right before and after that scene, and we were able to share one of the early versions of that song with the actors before they filmed.
Yeah.
Which I think
get them in the moment, and
really got them. Yeah,
because they're like, oh, okay, yeah. So, and again, it goes back to also the music of just playing such a visceral part in the movie, but also helping, with the actors, and understanding the scene and how we're planning to utilize, things in post. I think is helpful.
Yeah,
I think it was great. I think it's amazing. I can't wait to see more from you guys.
Awesome.
As I close up the pod, if you just want to wait with me just for a second so we can have a combo after, I'm going to do a little thing.
Yeah.
So thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone for listening and watching the Dreaming Insomniacs, the podcast. And this has been the Timings crew. When the film comes out widely, please support. And if you can make it to the premiere, buy the tickets when they are announced. Follow Timings on Instagram. The link will be in the description as well. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys. It's been an honor. Thank you. The movie's great. And have a great day, everyone.
you too.